Welcome to Staying Power, a show that is all about building a better life. And whatever way you think we mean it, chances are we do. And each week we come together for an hour to talk about one element of building a better life. And we hope that it resonates with you. And by we, I mean myself, JDK Winnikin, and, of course, my lovely, great co-host, one of my favorite people on the planet, a person who needs no introduction anymore, but still gets one every single week with red carpet treatment because she's awesome and she's the straw that stirs the drink. Ashley Kniebel. Hi, Ashley.
Hello.
All right. So I'm
Thank you for that.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I just have a lot of appreciation that you're on this show. So I always like to remind you that I'm happy that you're
so kind.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I appreciate that. All right. This week, we're actually going to be doing something. We're going to be responding to a listener's request, actually listeners, plural, request. Yes. A number of months ago, longtime listeners might remember that Ashley and I had the opportunity to go together to see Esther Perel, the great marriage and relationship therapist, who's got one of the most popular podcasts in the world, and she's written a couple of best-selling books on relationships. And we went and saw her, and she has a game that she created during COVID that's a way to keep people connected, right? And originally people started doing it when they were doing the Zoom calls, right? The Zoom happy hours that were so popular back then. And it's a game that's called Where Should We Begin? And we ended up doing an episode about that where we took some cards from the game, we shared them, because we thought it might be interesting to learn about each other in real time for listeners and now viewers on our YouTube channel to see in real time. And we got requests this past week, Ashley, to do this again.
So exciting.
I know.
Oh, wow.
Which is
well,
nice.
I am down to play the game with
you.
you.
Right. So, and here's the general idea of this. These are questions that Perel wrote that really encourage not just introspection. Last week, we talked about values and the introspection that's involved in that and decision-making about which ones matter the most, which ones we'd like to bring up in our lives, which ones surprise us that we're concerned about. This one is more about, well, it's certainly based in that. It's about connection between people. And this game can be played to get to know people better. So, it can be a group of people that are getting together for maybe the first time, or maybe it's a mixed group. Some people know each other, some don't. It can be something between partners, and there's certainly different, I think there's different categories, right?
Yes,
Actually, yeah. So there's ones that are more appropriate for playing with just your partner, others with friends, family members, that type of thing. So what we've done is we just want to kind of put that on display again for listeners and viewers this week. An opportunity for Ashley and I to learn more about each other. And we always do, right, Ashley?
Yes, we do.
Now, we know a lot about each other. It's worth reminding everybody, particularly if you're a first-time listener or viewer. Ashley and I are good friends. We know a lot about each other. It comes out in the show, particularly when she's busting my chops about talking too much. But nevertheless, there's a lot to it, and we've invested a lot in this. So, and yet we always learn more, particularly when we play this.
Yeah,
game.
we do.
So I'm thinking, Ashley, what we can do is just pick a card from here, read the question or the prompt. It's usually more of a prompt. And whichever one you pick, you ask me, I'll go first, and then you answer the same one. What do you think?
Let's do it.
You want to do that? Right. Okay, so Ashley, you go ahead. Actually, let me choose first since I already did a lot of talking.
What?
Right.
Put me on the spot already.
Well, yeah, because I'm talking too much. You said last time I was talking too much.
Well, that was so last week.
Okay, so let's start with, you want to start with a tough one or an easy one?
Does it matter?
Let's start with a small one since you feel on the spot. If you catch me by the fridge in the middle of the night, I'm probably sneaking what?
Cookie dough.
Cookie dough.
Or olives. Actually, it's probably olives.
Olives.
Oh, I have this obsession. I love olives.
What kind of olives? Black olives or Kalamata olives? Or some other version?
All of the above.
All of the above?
Yeah.
Really?
I unintentionally started eating them for breakfast.
Hold on. I got to unpack that sentence. I unintentionally... How do you unintentionally eat an olive for breakfast?
Not just one.
That might be the title of the episode.
Why do you think I just ate
unintentionally eating olives for breakfast.
Okay, so see, this is why this game is fun, because it makes a story. Because I get up like way too early in the morning, first of all. And so I'm like, waking up, making my coffee, getting my breakfast together. And it takes a little time to prep all of that. And so I'm usually like rummaging around and I'm hungry. And I'm like, oh, what's a quick little like thing that I can snack on that's not egregious, horrifically so early in the morning to consume. And I have a thing for olives. And so I happen to start now eating, if they're nearby, a few olives while I'm making breakfast.
Wow. Now, do you normally make breakfast items that are more on the savory side like olives are?
Usually they're like homemade stuffed crescent rolls. Homemade, like partially.
Well,
but,
now. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
So I guess that's savory.
So sneaking olives or cookie dough. So you can do you do them both sometimes, like savory and sweet? No, just one or the other?
And to be honest, this question here, sneaking those, I am like unabashedly eating those. I am not ashamed at all.
That's true. That's true. Okay.
I don't know if there's anything that I'd have to like sneak and eat, to be honest with you.
Gotcha.
But anyways.
Okay.
What about
you? Usually for me late at night, if I'm sneaking some quote unquote sneaking, I have nobody to sneak it from. It's
no one's going to.
It's just me. Right? If I'm sneaking in front of somebody, there's an intruder in my house, and that's a bigger problem. It is. Usually for me, it's the sweeter at night, but I don't like to engage in the sweet tooth very much before I go to bed. But I have a concoction that I put together, frozen cherries that I let kind of thaw a little bit.
Okay.
And I take a little bit of Greek yogurt, and then I have this vanilla protein powder that I'll mix in.
That sounds so yummy.
So it's vanilla, kind of like a vanilla yogurt with cherries. It's a nice dose of antioxidants and carbs, but not too high, and some protein and some fat. It's perfect.
And I like how this question was, if you catch me at night. So I'm assuming like later at night, not like,
like a midnight snack.
Yeah, I'm assuming a midnight snack, that you're still creating a concoction. You're still cooking.
Oh, okay. All right. So if I'm sneaking something.
I know. I just mean, like, I love that.
Actually,
for me and most people, it's like, we're just going to grab a quick snack. And you're like, let me actually like pull out all the ingredients and make something.
That's true. Okay. That's fair. If I'm going to sneak something, one thing that I will sneak at night if I'm hungry is I'll get a piece of bread and either put honey on it and I'll just be it, or like a little bit of cheese and a little bit of ham.
Is it toasted?
Sometimes, yes. Sometimes
sourdough.
Not. Sourdough.
Okay.
Sourdough. Always sourdough.
Okay.
That's always sourdough.
Important details.
Always sourdough. So you are, about olives, and I'm unapologetically sourdough. Apparently.
Okay.
So many potential things. Okay.
Look at the things we're learning.
All right. That's interesting. All right. So Ashley, your turn to choose one, and you get to select from whichever one you want to go.
I might also have a jar of olives at work. Anyways.
It gets even more significant. A jar of olives at work. Okay,
now never know when you get
if any of you are looking for something to get Ashley as a gift for
olives, actually, I would not be opposed to getting olives. Anyways,
I have a really good snack I'll make for you that has olives. Actually,
really?
I'll tell you about it later.
All right,
go ahead.
Ooh, we're getting real deep with JD today.
Oh boy. Okay, what is it?
I owe an apology to.
Oh man. Ooh, I owe an apology to. Well, that's a really good question. Right now in my life, in the circles around me right now, nobody, as far as I know. And I try to be aware of that. Mm-hmm. And if there's somebody listening who thinks I do owe them an apology,
someone's going to write in and be like, excuse me, sir.
Reach out. Who do I owe an apology to? Well, what immediately comes to mind are from my old crazy days, the days that I've talked about on this show as my running and gunning days. Addiction leaves a wake of pain behind it, right? And as much as I've been able to do, I have tried to clean that up, right? And make apologies, make amends to people that were harmed by my past actions, right? And these were about me being secretive and kind of living double, triple, quintuple lives, right? That kind of thing. So I've done the best I could to make amends for those. If there's anyone I'd like to apologize into, I can think of 4 or 5 people who probably not the people I'm closest to or were closest with, because I think I've handled that. But others in retrospect, as I look back on it with literally more sober eyes, go, wow, they were probably really adversely affected by that.
Oh,
right?
Interesting.
Like coworkers who, when I left my career, had to pick up the slack, right? And had to adjust, whole lot of parts of their lives in the short term. That's what immediately comes to mind. Maybe a way to shift it a little bit, make it a little bit more current. Not too long ago, I realized I owed my mother an apology. Because when I was a teenager, I was a very, very intense teenager and was already starting to move towards the problems I just mentioned, right? And as I got bigger and older, my anger would come out really strongly. And I realized a handful of years ago that my mother had experienced that probably more than any other human being. And I wondered if it still concerned my mom when she wanted to bring things up to me that she was worried I might, not want to talk about or things like that. And so she might not want to bring up things that were difficult.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually brought that up to her not too long ago. I said, has that ever happened? And at first she said no. And then she said, actually, I think so. I think I'm concerned.
Really?
I never want to ask you about A, B, and C because I don't want, you to have to think about something that's painful or talk about it. And I don't want you to get mad about it. And so it led to this conversation of like, oh man, I really affected you. It must have really scared you when I got so angry. Right.
Really?
And and I think we were both surprised by the level to which that effect had stuck. But it ended up being something where I did apologize to her. I said, I didn't know how to handle my emotions back then. And I had a lot, and mainly my anger was more about, I wanted to be left alone. Don't push me to talk about things I don't want to talk about. She took it though, as I was angry at her all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Those are two different things. And there had been traces of that had lasted 3+ decades since then.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's a recent one that I've done. I know I altered the question a little bit, but yeah.
Okay.
All right. How about...
That's a really deep answer.
Thank you. How about for that? How about for you?
For me, who do I owe an apology to? Probably like 3 or 4 people I work with.
Because?
I'm honest, okay?
Right. Without going into specifics, why? Because...
Well, it was brought to my attention recently that apparently I get really snappy and I get... surprise, I get a little grumpy when sometimes I get a little snappy response with people. Now, I knew this about myself. I guess I just didn't realize how often. And in my perspective, from my own little seat of the world, is usually I'm like really focused on trying to finish something and I'm getting interrupted. And usually I deem it as something of like, this is an unnecessary question because there's somewhere else you can go to find the answer, or I've already answered this, or in my head, I'm like, you should just know this. And it's usually that one is the problem one because they don't actually know. And if I would pause for a second before snapping a response, I would realize they see me as a source of information and a resource. And that's why they're coming to me, because I have something that they probably need.
Mm-hmm.
They need my help. Mm-hmm. And yes, it might be coming at what feels like to me a very untimely moment because I'm trying to accomplish something. And I will either answer them quickly and it's very like in a frustrated tonality and I'm snappy about it, or I just answer in some sort of way that probably is not as, it could be kinder. Could be kinder. So, and this was brought to my attention recently and I was like, all right, that's valid because, and at one point I was like, I'm not really, because I am trying to get something done. And then I'm like, but is that really the right way to handle that? I'm like, no. Because now I'm seeing myself as more important than that person. And I don't think that's correct. Yeah,
and those shoulds are such judgment things to fall on. Like they should know this, and maybe they think they quote unquote should because you've covered it before.
Yeah.
But the curious question would be more of, I would have thought they'd picked up on this already. Why have they not?
Right.
That's tough to do in the moment, though.
There's a couple times where I'm like, are you just asking me because, I'll give you the answer instead of you doing the work to go find the answer? Like I'm the Cliff Notes all of a sudden.
There is that.
I think that was where that was coming from. But yeah, I was like, all right. And then I realized like, oh yeah, I've noticed I'm apologizing more for doing this. And then I'm like, well, perhaps if I just corrected the behavior in the beginning, then I wouldn't have to be apologizing so much later. So it was kind of insightful.
Yeah.
But yeah, probably a few people I work with.
A few people you work with. Okay. All right. So whose turn is it?
It's your turn to read one to me.
Okay, so I need to draw.
Do we have time for another one?
We've got 2 minutes, so probably not. We'll wait till the other side of it.
Okay.
Okay, but all right, but here's what I find interesting about this, right? We've talked about 2 serious things, one serious thing, one not so serious thing. Mm-hmm. And yet, I feel like I've learned just as much about you with both of them in a way. And in fact, I think I've learned the newest thing I learned was from the first one. No, there's something the olives thing is interesting. I mean, because those are those are things we don't necessarily share all the time,
Yeah,
right?
that's
You don't
not
just
what
say,
you put in a dating profile.
No, it's not what you put in a dating profile. And it's not something that necessarily comes up in everyday conversation either. No. Like, oh, I went to the fridge and I'm just pounding olives like it's nobody's business. That's what you said.
I'm not pounding olives.
Not that that's what you said. But nevertheless. So I want to know, so do you like olives on pizza too?
I do.
Okay. And you like olives like with charcuterie boards and stuff like that?
Absolutely.
You zero in on them?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
exactly.
good. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. I actually since we have a minute, I actually make an appetizer.
Is this the thing you're going to make?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Keep talking.
Yes. It's got olives. It's got whatever kind of Italian style cheese that you want to have. Small pieces of uncured pepperoni and prosciutto in it, olive oil, some onions, some capers, and some lemon.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
And you mix it all in, and you put it in a jar, one of those jars that you can kind of like seal up with the clamp, and you let it kind of just sit and kind of all those flavors blend together. And then not only do you have it as a snack by itself, but you take the oil from it after a few days, you pour it out, and you dip bread in it and put the stuff over the top of it.
Yum. That sounds delicious.
Uh-huh.
You know, my birthday's coming up.
I know.
Okay.
It is. And I already know. Okay. Yeah. The plan was born just now. Okay. So with that in mind, interesting. All right. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and take our first break here on Staying Power. When we come back, Ashley and I will keep answering questions from Esther Perel's game. Where should we begin? Yes, where should we begin? All in the name of having you get to know us and us get to know each other a little bit better. We'll be back in just a minute.
Statistics show that roughly 20 veterans die by suicide every day in the United States. Canines for Warriors is the leading nonprofit organization providing highly trained service dogs to veterans with PTSD and other invisible wounds of war. Backed by scientific research, Canines for Warriors has transformed the lives of more than 1,000 veterans, helping them reclaim their independence. To find out more, please visit caninesforwarriors.org.
Are you ready to discover remarkable stories of resilience and cultural connection? This is Diaspora, a show sharing the journeys of first-generation immigrants from the Indian subcontinent now building their lives in North America. Inspiring, insightful, and always engaging, Diaspora offers a unique perspective on the immigrant experience. Join me, Aditya Mehta, my guests, on the Diaspora Show every Wednesday at 2 p.m. right here on KKNW.
Alternative Talk 1150, the talk of the sound.
Welcome back to Staying Power. JD here with Ashley.
Hello.
And we are playing Esther Perel's game, Where Should We Begin, which is essentially a series of prompts / questions meant to help the people playing get to know each other better on a real level. Some of them lighthearted about like questions like olives and things like that. Other things a little deeper, like who do you owe an apology to? We've covered one of each. So Ashley, let's keep going. So is it my turn to draw or?
Oh, actually, yeah, I think I didn't look at the cards.
You didn't look at the cards?
I didn't. I picked it up.
I don't like that one. Oh, I do like this one. What I learned about love from my parents. ...
Ooh, well, that's an interesting one. What I learned about love from my parents. That it doesn't look like Disney.
Okay. That it doesn't look like Disney.
Yeah.
That's a really good line, but I think that it's worth some unpacking.
I mean, and I'm not alluding like it was some horrific like childhood and my parents' fault all the time or anything like that.
Right.
But my parents have a love and appreciation for each other, but it's not like the fairy tale type of thing. They are always there for each other. They're very consistent with each other. They, as individuals, my dad is very supportive of my mom, no matter what she wants to do. And he is always there to help her out no matter what. I don't think I've ever seen him raise his voice at her. Like, he's always leading with love and patience and kindness. And my mom, my brother and I, we always joke that our mom's heart is as big as she is because she's so full of love and kindness, and she's a total sass also. So, you know.
Well, you got it from somewhere, Ashley.
Well, she did raise me. But, you know, and yet there weren't like an overly affectionate in front of us or anything like that. And at first, when I was thinking when I was younger, what does love mean? Like, that was what I initially thought. Like, oh, love must mean that you're like hugging each other and showing affection and, you know, all that. And then as I got older, I'm like, no, there is a much deeper love that's there that sometimes most people may not pick up on. And that's okay because it's not surface level. They have a really deep love for each other. And it's not the type that you see like in the Hollywood movies or in Disney. And it's probably better than what you see there. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's a really good answer. I think I would say something similar with my folks. One of the words though that come to mind for me is that it's not Disney. I would agree with that. I've learned that from my folks. But what it is a whole clear definition on, I think, the most profound level possible of commitment. If it's going to work, right? Yeah. It's not just about the feeling. It's not just about that. My parents have been married since 1967. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. And they'll be the first to say that it has had a lot of challenges in it that they have faced together. Some of which, as I was growing up, I was aware, particularly when, you know, we were financially, things were really tight, right? And they had to make a lot of choices and things like that. But they also shielded us from a lot of that. And we ended up, my sister and I had a really fun childhood in a lot of ways. And we have a lot of really good memories with that. But in terms of, we're talking about love like a couple, right? The commitment to see things through, the commitment to share tasks, the commitment to stick around even at times where I'm sure they didn't want to, right? In the moment where I'm sure, and that's their business, right? That's their business. And I hesitate to speak for them, but I know that they always showed that as well, that this was something that when you choose it, right? And you choose it every single day, right? You're right. It's not going to look like a Disney film, but what it is going to look like is something that I think they're really appreciating a lot in their older years, right? My mom just turned 80. My dad's going to turn 80 later this year. And I've noticed in the last 5-10 years, their deep appreciation for how far they've come together really lifts them. And they enjoy that side of it. And I think they have a sense of accomplishment with that. So I've learned that it does take that, right? That's a really good answer.
All right. So another question.
Well, I think I'm pulling from the wrong stack here because the cards I'm pulling are not ones I can read on the air.
Right. There are some of those in this game. Right. So anyway.
There are some, yeah. But those are kind of the fun, spicy ones to do with your, special somebody.
Right. So anything come up yet?
Okay, I got one.
Okay.
For you. Something I grew up thinking was normal, but later found out wasn't.
Oh, holy cow. Say that again.
Something I grew up thinking was normal, but later found out was not.
Oh, boy. I learned growing up that the most important thing, somewhere along the line, I learned the most important thing for me to do was to not rock the boat, fit in, be cooperative, be the easiest person, be the nice person, always be kind, all those things. Not that there's anything bad with any one of those things by themselves, but it's the always that was the problem. You know, I grew up a pastor's kid. And when you're a pastor's kid, you're kind of you feel like you're on display. Sure. Right. With church. And
well, you are.
Kind of, right. Right. And I don't think, we were just speaking about parents, I don't think my parents ever intentionally put any kind of expectation on that. I think it just kind of came with the territory. And I know they can think of times where maybe they look back and go, okay, I could have reinforced something different there. But I just thought that was normal. That what everybody was trying to do was just fit in, get along, not rock the boat. And you did what you're supposed to do because that was what was kind. That was what was supposed to be that. And what that came at the expense, though, of my ability to develop a way to advocate for myself, to speak up for myself, to defend myself. And thinking about last week's episode, talking about values, I had some that were at the lower end, like bravery, right? Self-regulation, honesty, being more open. I think that's where I learned to kind of keep those things inside, that those things were more important. And then I found out that wasn't normal, that there were plenty of people who spoke their mind and disagreed. Like, and sometimes it still surprises me. Like I have a friend of mine who's got 4 adult grown kids, And the conversations they have together as a family are ones that never happened in my house. Like, they're arguing about stuff. They're debating stuff. They're like going back and forth. They're, for the most part, good natured, but sometimes, it descends into arguing, right? And I've a few times I've been witness to that, and I've just been like, wow, this is incredible. Like, there's none of this trying to fit in or trying to, no, right? And yet they navigated it just fine because that's how they grew up.
Sure.
Right? And that's how my friend raised her kids. So so that's what comes to mind first and foremost. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say so.
Okay. How about you?
Something I grew up thinking was normal, but later found out wasn't. I think normal is kind of a strange way to describe that, but
It is, yeah.
being best friends with my brother.
Oh.
Because as I've gotten old, like as a kid, like it was normal to me. Like, he's my best friend and we get along great. And we are almost 4 years apart and he's older. Everyone thinks I'm the older one. I don't know why, but
Really?
he is older. Yes. Everyone thinks I'm the older one.
Huh.
Like, why? We both have gray hair. Anyways.
You do not.
You just can't see it. But anyways.
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
But I grew up, we were very close even as kids. And as I got older, I realized most people are not, at least most people I've run into, are not close with their siblings. Not to the extent that my brother and I are. And we've always been that way. We are now, even as adults and as we've gotten our own lives and we're busy and so on and so forth. We can always call each other up. And like, if I need to name one person I can count on, that is him.
Right.
I have like 2 or 3 people in my life I can, and he always is in the list, always. And if I ever need anything, or if I need someone to cheer me up, or I'm going through something tough, he's so smart and full of wisdom, and he's hilarious, and he's very similar to me, and maybe that's why we get along well. But as kids, like, it felt very natural the way that we got along. Now, I do think our parents had some tactics about when we were fighting and we were little kids. The way that they made us make up is we sat in the corner and had to hold hands until we were no longer fighting. Yeah, you get to know somebody really quickly. And you're like, how do we get along and get out of this situation?
So I don't have to
sit next to you anymore. Yeah, it was great. But we have always just gotten along really well. Even like in college when we were both going at the same time, like we hung out together. We took classes together. We carpooled if we could. We were always around each other, and by choice because we wanted to.
Right. When did you realize that wasn't normal, quote unquote? Or wasn't the standard?
Standard, yeah. I would say probably in my 20s. And even now, probably I would say even now, because a lot of times now I feel like people are like, oh, I'm very estranged with my sibling, or they moved and I don't talk to them anymore or whatever.
Yeah.
I see them at the holidays type of thing. And like my relatives, I have some relatives that don't speak to their own siblings in their little family circles. Yeah. Yeah. We have some of that in my family as well. I'm fortunate I don't have that with my sister. My sister and I get along very well. We're very different people in a lot of ways, but but we care about the same things, right? There's an old Bob Dylan line that says, we always did feel the same. We just saw it from a different point of view. My sister and I can be that way. And that's a good thing. That's a really good thing. All right. That's good. Okay. My turn? Yeah.
All right. Do you want a less heavy one?
Yeah, let's make this one a little lighthearted.
Let's mix it up a little bit. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I would quit my job if you paid me to.
Oh, my goodness. I would quit my job if you paid me to go to sommelier school.
Oh, my goodness. Continue.
Obviously, because what's going to go with my olives? But I like wine.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. It makes sense now you say it.
And it's a very intensive study.
Okay, it is. Please explain more. Why? I don't know what I was expecting. I don't think I was expecting anything, but it wasn't that.
Okay.
So what's that about? Where did that come from?
Well, I like learning. We know that. I've always loved school. I've always thought it'd been an awesome idea to get paid to go to school, like even better, to especially study something you enjoy. But I think wine is fascinating. I mean, obviously I like the taste of it and, all the things that go about it, but it's so, you'll laugh, it's so creative. I'm not creative, but I think wine is, and it's alive still.
Explain that.
Like in the bottle, like it will change, it will age over time. other like alcohols, you bottle them and they're done. They're capped and that's it. And wine will still age and grow and mature and evolve and change. And there's beauty in that. And it's delicious and it looks great and it pairs well with food and it brings people together. And it's just fascinating that it can be grown and pressed and created all over the world. And each one is so unique.
Wow.
So there you go.
There was so much to that behind even the words, knowing you the way I know you.
Mm-hmm.
I've not seen you talk about something like that before. Not like that.
Yeah.
Not like that. Like if I were wine, I'd feel like you had fallen in love with me. Like,
Stop.
Wow.
So flattered.
Like on behalf of wine, thank you. Love you. Wow, that's beautiful. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. That does make sense. It reminds me of a scene. Have you ever seen the rom-com French Kiss?
No.
Okay. I'm going to find a clip and send it to you. And if I find it, I will post it in the show notes because it applies. Meg Ryan and Kevin Kline. Okay. And they're in France and Kevin Kline is a vintner and he's trying to create kind of this new kind of vine, new kind of grape to really do something special. And he's teaching her and he's kind of a jerk in the film. But in this moment where she first sees him as his human, he's telling her he has this box full of these little bottles and they each have like some plant from the environment where they are in France. Lavender in one, rosemary in another. And he pours her a wine from it's a family vineyard and he pours her some wine. He says, smell the wine. And she smells it and she's like, well, it smells like a red. What does that mean? He goes, okay, now smell these different things in this box. And she smells the lavender and the other things. He says, these are all from around here. And he says, now smell the wine again. And she can smell all those things in the wine.
Oh, cool.
And she gives it this kind of sassy, it's full of personality, blah, blah, blah. And she kind of gets embarrassed and she says, I suppose that sounds really stupid. He goes, no. That's perfect. Wine is like people. It collects everything that's around them. And that's what creates its personality. Reminded me of that.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I might have to watch the rom-com.
And it's a really important moment in the film because it's the first time she really sees him as this human who's not a jerk and a human who's passionate about something, and they really connect over it. That's kind of
oh my gosh, love.
Kind of had a similar moment there.
Okay.
That was cool.
Okay.
Well,
what about you? If you could get paid to quit your job and do something, what would it be?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. Right. That's an easy one. To make a living as a writer is very hard, very difficult, and I've told other people that if you write simply because you're hoping it's the way for you to make a lot of money and be famous, you're probably going to end up being disappointed. It's got to be for more than that. And you have to, you want it to be coming from a place that you're doing it because it's what you do. And it is what I do. It's how I have found that I best make sense of myself, of the things I'm struggling with, of the places I'm going, the thoughts I have about the world around me, about what I care about, and I'm a storyteller. Yeah, you know this, right? You know this. I'm a storyteller. It's one of the reasons I do this show. But writing for me and the creative process behind it is a way for me, even when I don't know I'm doing it, to contribute something to myself and to whoever reads it all at the same time. And it's also the thing that even though it's a good amount of work, it never feels like it. It's the easiest thing. When I wrote my novel, it took me 3 years to write it. And people go, wow, that's a lot of work. Yes. And it was never hard work. Never hard work. So if I could do that, absolutely, I would do that. If I was being paid to do it, no hesitation whatsoever. So anyway, there's that. What do you think?
I think that's very on brand for you. But I mean, I know
Not
you,
surprised,
so I
right.
know that.
Right.
I mean, I would encourage anyone if they have the opportunity to read something you have written, because you're very, very good is putting it so lightly. But you have a way of just capturing so much in the way that you write. And I've seen you like pull it up on a whim so fast, and I'm like, you know what? It would take me like so long to come up with something that is so to the point and eloquent and creates an entire experience for the person who's reading it, depending on, what it is, the topic and whatnot. But it's just really great to read. So I don't know if you have anything out there for people to read, but I do. If not, you probably should.
I appreciate that. I do. I actually have a website that's got a lot of the stuff I've written there. I haven't put anything new there in a while, and I need to do that. So how about I use this as an opportunity? First of all, I don't even know how to
first.
Yeah, I'll put it in the show notes, wordsbyjdk.com. And thank you for that. I'm kind of moved. I'm glad we're coming up on a break here soon because I kind of think I need a moment. Thank you. Thank you for that. But isn't that interesting? So I tell you what, I'll make you a deal, Ashley. When I get my novel out there, and that is my plan, right? When it's out there, I'm going to have a whole launch thing, and listeners, you're going to have a chance to be a part of that too. I've thought about this well in advance.
Okay.
But I tell you what, Ashley, you get to pick all the wines for the celebration.
Oh, wow. I would
and
be
all the
honored.
And all the olives.
And all the olives. Okay.
And all those different things.
Deal.
And we'll go from there because then you can put those two passions together. So
hopefully I'll leave something for all the guests.
Yeah. Now, you eat all the olives. It doesn't mean you drink all the wine.
Well,
I don't want to imply that.
Oh, well, you never know.
Right. Okay. Well, on that note, let's go ahead and go into our second break here on Staying Power. When we come back, not only will we finish up with a few questions from Esther Perel's game, Where Should We Begin? We'll also do our weekly segment where Ashley and I each take 2 minutes to share about something that happened during the week. This week, it is a 2 minutes of terror, so you're going to want to stick around for that. We'll be back in just a second.
Children are the greatest joy and our best hope for a better future. Friends, they are the future. But did you know that millions of kids are facing hunger every day? Food is not just food. It's energy, health, confidence, hope, and even love. Yes, love.
Thank you!
Learn more about how No Kid Hungry is helping end child hunger in America at helpnokidhungry.org.
Hello, I'm Chris Erdman. Every Wednesday at 8 a.m. on KKNW, I sit down with inspiring entrepreneurs, creative minds, and game changers to uncover the real stories behind their business. On my show, Made of More, we explore the challenges that they've overcome, the breakthroughs that they've celebrated, and the mindset that drives them forward. If you're ready to unlock your full entrepreneurial potential, Made of More is the show for you, because here we know you are made of more. Every Wednesday at 8 a.m. on KKNW.
Bored with the other stations, hammering away on the same old talking points? Try Alternative Talk 1150 and get some variety.
Welcome back to Staying Power. JD here with Ashley.
Hello.
And we are playing Esther Perel's game, Where Should We Begin? Kind of going through some of those questions. And had a few moments here, Ashley. We've been learning some stuff, getting deep, emotional, and I'm just so happy we're doing
And you know what? We have known each other for a handful of years, and it's just funny that playing a game like this can evoke such things and curiosity.
Yeah, and I was commenting on this over the break, or at least to myself, that I'm always thankful for the friendship we have, but it's moments like these where I'm like, man, this is such a good thing to have you as a friend. It's really good. So, yeah. All right. Okay, before we get into the last part of today's show, let's do our weekly segment. This week, it is 2 minutes of terror. Here we go. Love the scream. It's so good. It's so good. All right. Ashley, something happened to you this week that was a terror.
Well,
what was it?
It wasn't something that happened to me, but, it is officially spooky season.
Yes.
I would say. So, in that theme, I've been planning some Halloween extravaganza, events to go to and things I want to do. And this dawned on me, I need to come up with more than one Halloween costume.
Whoa. Why is
so
this?
Much pressure. You can't wear the same one.
Why? Really?
When you could wear more than one, why would you not?
Well, why would you not? But like there's a rule that
there's
if you
not,
go to...
Okay, there's not a rule, but I will say, as a child, we did not celebrate Halloween.
Okay.
I didn't get to actually start celebrating Halloween till like just a handful of years ago.
Oh, okay.
So it's very new for me. So I'm
you've thrown
fully
yourself
embracing.
Into it. Got it.
I'm a very late bloomer, but I'm here to embrace. So now I'm like, okay, if I'm going to like a house party and I'm going out to some like a soiree and I'm going to a few other things, I'm like, I need more than one costume. And that's a lot to figure out in a very short period of time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've already been putting my thoughts towards it like the last week or so to kind of, escalate this. But yeah, All of a sudden I realized I need like at least 3.
And this caused terror. Why?
Because you don't want to like just throw something together last minute. I want it to be tasteful and look good, and I want to feel good in it. And sometimes I'm like, do I want it to be like funny and like goofy, or do I want it to be like really dark and scary, or what do you want it to be? Do you want it to be like something that's totally different from what you are, or whatever? So, anyways, I got some things to figure out.
Gotcha.
That's my terror.
Gotcha. That's a pretty good one. Okay. Mine this week had everything to do with what ended up being just me moving too fast through my day.
Oh.
Keep track of this. I had a really important meeting earlier this week that I was supposed to get to, and I was already running a little bit late, or I was concerned I was going to be running a little bit late. As we were talking about off air, traffic in this area is getting worse. And so I was concerned I wasn't going to have enough time. And so all of a sudden I thought I was ready. Just need my keys. Where are my keys?
Oh no.
Where are my keys?
Oh no.
Where are my keys? And the house key. Okay. Where are the house keys? I had my car keys, but where are my house keys? Couldn't find them. Right. And of course, as you can't find them, so I'm going room to room. Where is this? Trying to think, where did I leave it? Going through all of that. So eventually, of course, as it's always the case, when you find them, you go, oh yeah, that's where I left them, right? You remember them automatically. So I grab the keys. Okay, I got to go. Lock the door, get out to the car. Where's my phone?
Oh
Where's my phone? I need my phone because I actually need my phone for some calls later in the day from the road. Where is it? I go back in the house. Right? Looking around, going room to room. Again, and of course the time's click, tick, tick, tick. Can't find them. Get out. Got the house keys. Got the phone. Go out to the car. Where's the car key?
Are you serious?
I had put the car key down to find the phone and left it in the house.
Are you kidding?
No. It was just a comedy of errors, but in the moment, it was just this terrible thing.
Where is the camera?
Because I was like, you got to be kidding. And of course, the terror is I'm losing my mind.
You lost that too?
I'm getting old. Yeah, I'm getting old. This is what's happening, right? Getting more gray hairs just by going through this whole process. And of course, what I ended up seeing was, it's because I'm rushing. It's because, I'm trying to get somewhere on time. And I don't even know if I'm going to be late. And of course, I did all this. And not only was I not late, I was early. So,
That is so funny.
Oh my gosh. It was just.
That's terrible.
Oh, it's horrible.
One thing to miss like one item and then, the other one. Wow.
In the moment. Yeah. So anyway.
Oh, you poor thing.
I know. There we go.
What is that check? The wallet, phone, keys check or whatever before you leave the house?
Yes. There's always that.
Okay.
Right. And when I mentioned this to my dad, my dad's like, that's why I keep a dish right by the door. I put everything in the, okay, thanks, Dad. Thank you. Right.
Oh, I guess I should have gotten you a dish for your birthday.
Yeah, there you go. I need a dish.
Christmas is coming up.
This is coming up. You get olives and wine. I get a dish for my car keys and all my other crap that I carry around. Okay. All right. So, Ashley, a few more questions today. This is interesting. What do you, we're learning so much more here. It's quite interesting. I'm enjoying the conversation. So, Esther Perel, wherever you are, if you're listening, nice work.
Yeah.
Thing works well.
This is good. And this is a good example for the listeners or the viewers that you too could be having fun like this.
Yes.
And it takes the awkwardness out of situations.
It does.
Because all of a sudden you get one prompt, 2 prompts or whatever. And then all of a sudden you're off to the races with your stories and that compounds into something else. And then there's laughter or some of these are really deep and heartfelt and, they might be like emotionally heavy. And it's just, I've never been in a situation where this was not a good idea.
That's a great way to put it.
So
it's a great way to put it.
There's that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've had that experience too. All right. So a few more questions. Let's do a couple fun ones and maybe one serious one.
Got one. You ready?
I'm ready.
My most irrational fear.
Getting eaten by a shark.
That would be awful.
Getting eaten by anything. That's. When I did not see Jaws, the movie, until I was 14. First of all, because we weren't allowed to see stuff like that when I was a kid. But when I finally did, I was 14 and it scared me to death like I was 7. Yeah. I couldn't even go into a pool and close my eyes in the pool. I had to and then if I was swimming at night, the pool light needed to be on.
Interesting.
Yeah, it scared me to death. So now what's interesting though is, there's always like the Shark Week. I will watch those left and right. I find them fascinating.
Oh yeah.
They're absolutely fascinating. I love that stuff.
So beautiful.
Yeah, and I've actually learned quite a bit about them ever since then. And I know the whole Jaws thing has kind of created a kind of a false sense about them, but nevertheless, that scares me to death. So like the idea of that, right? Okay. I don't really go swim in the ocean very often. I have deep respect for the ocean, and I have no trouble being by the ocean. I have no trouble being in a boat on the ocean. I have no trouble flying over the ocean, right? The things in the ocean can have what's in the ocean. That is their world. That is mine. There's too many things in there that could consume me.
You're on the wrong end of that food chain.
Right. Exactly. So yeah, that one's easy. That's my most irrational. What about you?
Okay.
Spiders? Not anymore. You're taking that on. You're taking on spiders.
Who told you that?
I don't know. It was a 2 minutes of triumph not too long ago
I was going to take them on. Oh, I said I'm getting a little bit better.
Get a little bit
better. By force.
Okay.
Not by choice.
Right. Okay.
Because where I work, all the other ladies get afraid of spiders, and then they all look to me.
Right.
When I'm, busy doing things.
You're the boss. Right.
They're like,
they should know how to do. They should know how to do this.
Can I delegate this to somebody? Anyways.
All right. Go ahead. Sorry.
My most irrational fear seems a little strong, but I would say probably the dark.
Interesting. I never would have thought that, because I always make the joke, and I've made it on this show before. If I'm ever walking in the dark alley somewhere and Ashley's with me, I'm never going to be worried about anything, because Ashley can kick the crap out of whatever comes at me.
Well,
jiu-jitsu master over here.
Thank you. I will preface a little bit. So not necessarily the dark outside.
Okay.
Like in a dark alley, I could probably help you out. Usually it's the dark in my own house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's such a familiar space that if something is out of place, I'm like, why is this out of place?
Oh, like
is somebody in my house?
So like discovering something in the dark that's not, because you know how to navigate in your own place in the dark, and then something's out of place.
Why it's irrational. Yeah. Could be that. Also probably growing up watching scary movies. That now you walk past a mirror and I'm always like taking a double look, like, is there something following me?
Oh, wow.
I'm not totally paranoid, but it is sometimes a totally irrational fear.
Well, in those movies, there's always a line in those horror movies like, it's coming from inside the house.
Yes.
It's always something in every single one, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the dark. Yeah, the dark. Interesting. Interesting.
So if I like get up to go to the kitchen, to get my olives or like go to the bathroom or something, I use my phone light.
Okay.
Turn on the light.
Okay.
And also looking to make sure I don't step on spiders on the floor. So.
Right. You also have cats though, so you don't want to.
Yes, it's true.
So the cats could move things around.
Yes. They have.
Yeah.
They have knocked things over.
Nocturnal little buggers.
I will be honest. You gave me a cardboard cutout of the Mandalorian.
Yeah. Oh.
And I put that up.
It scared you? Life size.
Mandalorian and the first time I saw it, and I was like, oh my goodness, is somebody in the house? And I'm like, it's a cardboard cutout. Ashley, you're fine.
Yeah.
You chose to put that there. Don't forget that.
Yeah, don't put it at the end of the hallway.
Yeah, no kidding. So now I'm fine, but anyways, irrational fear. Do we have time for one more quick one?
I think we do, yeah. All right, so
there's that.
Where are we going?
I don't know. You pick one. This is probably the last one we're doing.
Man, it has to be one of those?
Well, it doesn't have to be. You could pick a different one.
Let me see if I can pick some other ones.
For the last one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, these ones are heavy. This game is so great. I hope listeners and viewers, if you end up getting this game and playing this game, please let us know. Either hit us up on social media platforms or reach out to our email and let us know how it went for you. Maybe it's a good second date idea.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's a couple prompts we don't need to go with, but just to give some people some other senses of these. Yeah. I hope you never find out about the time when. That's an interesting one. Another one is something that was stolen from me.
Ooh.
Let's see. I'm particularly stubborn about. I wish I could still get away with.
Oh, wow. These are good.
The thing I complain most about. And then let's go with let's do a little fun one.
Okay.
At the end. Okay. The celebrity I'd want to play me in a movie.
Oh, for heaven's sakes.
Come on.
I don't even know if I could answer this.
You don't think so? You don't watch enough movies?
No.
Okay.
You know that.
Mine's Ryan Reynolds.
Okay, I could see that.
Or Paul Rudd.
Yeah?
Yeah, because Paul Rudd will look the same age for like the rest of his life.
This is true.
And everybody tells me I look the same that I've looked forever. Let's see. Okay, so you don't want to do that.
I don't think I could answer this.
Okay, how about this one? A part of myself I need to break up with is.
Oh, I need to break up with myself. But I like myself so much. Oh, that's
You don't like that one either.
It's okay. I can still do this one. I would probably say my snappy attitude.
Okay. Ooh, how about, that one's a little more personal.
Ooh, what do I've always dreamt of being famous for?
Mine would be writing, I guess. Again.
Would mine be about wine? I don't know if I want to be famous for that.
Oh, how about this one?
Okay. What do we got?
A scent that makes me nostalgic.
Oh, I got it. Okay. When I was younger and my aunt and uncle had a in-ground swimming pool at their house, they had like one of those little clubhouses right next door.
Keep going.
What? And they had this like little clubhouse, and it's where you kept all the pool toys and whatever. And it had this fragrance to it. And it was a good fragrance. It wasn't like moldy or anything. It was good. And whenever I smell that fragrance somewhere else, it takes me back to those little kid fun days when my brother and I would go to my aunt and uncle's house and go swimming in their pool and all the fun that they had in the summertime. And that, you know, the rush of the excitement of going into the little clubhouse and putting on my swimsuit and getting all my pool noodles and whatever else we played with and like go in the pool and play.
Okay.
There you go.
Very good. Okay.
I'll try to make that quick.
Okay, that is quick. All right. So mine is one that I actually get to engage in every year. It reminds me of this. Every time I walk into a baseball park.
The hot dogs.
Not the hot dogs are part of it, but more specifically, the smell of like a mitt, like a baseball mitt. Yeah. That smell in particular. I'll be that specific. A baseball mitt. Now I'm well beyond the age of, I don't take a baseball mitt to a game anymore to catch a foul ball. I don't do that. However, the smell of that, right? Or the smell of the oil that you rub into those, if you get down close by the field, I swear to you, you can smell that, right? You can smell it coming from the dugout because all the players have got it and there's all the mitts in there. There's all that. Just the smells of that make me nostalgic. I remember the first time I got a glove and I had to learn how to oil it. My dad showed me how, and my coach showed me how. And, you know, you put a ball into the thing and then you wrap it up. You know, you tie it up with a rubber band and then you stuff it under your mattress at night so you can form it around and do all that. Then you have to work it through and you have to kind of keep moving it back and forth. And I remember sitting with my friends at baseball practice and we would work our new mitts back and forth. You know, a bunch of 7, 8, 9-year-olds working their mitts back and forth. All of that makes me super nostalgic for those days because when I learned to play baseball was really the first time I felt like I was really connecting with friends and was a part of something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
You know what? I think I know a dish I'm going to get you to put all your wallet, phone, and keys in.
Really? What's that?
A glove.
A glove. That's a good one.
It's not obvious.
I don't know. I don't want to assume nothing.
With some oil so you can oil it yourself.
There we go. Oh, I love that idea. I'd love a new baseball mitt. Okay.
Are you a righty
or lefty?
All right.
I throw right-handed, catch left-handed. Okay. So I bat right-handed too. So, yeah. All right. Thanks, Ashley, for doing that.
That was so fun.
It's always fun. And thank you to the listeners who asked us to do this again. That was really, really fun. And we really encourage you to do that. I will put in links in the show notes, or we will put in links to the show notes to Esther Perel's game, to her website, to her books, to Words by JDK. If you want to see some of the stuff that I've written, encourages me to get a little bit more out there. So maybe I'll put up something new pretty soon. In the meantime, and if you want to send Ashley anything, send her wine and olives. So we're
always
good to go.
Accepting.
All right. We will be back next week with another episode of Staying Power. We're talking about some other way that you can help build a better life for yourself and therefore improve the lives of others. Look forward to seeing you next time. Until then, I'm just going to stay just JD.
Oh my gosh, I'm always Ashley.
Bye.
Bye.